Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to install the drone simulator. It's called FPV FreeRider. It is free, and so first we're just going to go to Google and type in FPV FreeRider. Google search it. It should be the first link. It says fpv-freerider.itch.io. And you'll see at the top it says it's for $4.99, and you can buy the full version if you want. It opens up some more settings to you, so if you want to kind of fine control your controllers. But if you go to the bottom of the page, it says download the demo, and you can also download, if you have an Android phone, you can download it on your phone as well and practice that way. But we're not doing that right now. We're just going to download. It says download demo. I'm using Windows, but this can also work on a Mac OS or even a Linux. So if you've got like a Raspberry Pi or something and you want to play it on, you can do that as well. So we click download. It's going to download a zip folder. Alright, I'm going to go to show in folder here, and I'm going to have this FPV FreeRider demo, and I'm going to go to extract all. Okay, and that's going to extract it in my folder. I hit extract right here. It's going to take a little bit. It extracted the folder back into this right here, and it'll take me right in, and it says FPV FreeRider demo. And you'll just double click on it. And there is a manual there. I actually haven't read it, but you got to have me talking about it. Okay, over here is your graphics quality. If you're just playing this on a computer that doesn't have any graphics card, you can do it on the lowest settings. This will play on almost any device. This is actually a pretty good Alienware PC, so I can play it on the highest. The next thing you're going to have to worry about is calibrating your controller. Okay? And with the demo, you only have access to the desert map. But that's okay. That's what we're going to do our simulator competition on, because it's a pretty simple course, and most people here are beginners, and it's also free, so it doesn't cost anything for anybody. So you can play this with an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, or if you have a drone controller from maybe one of the past competitions, you can do that as well, but you do need to buy this USB cable. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through that process. Let's hook up the PlayStation controller here. Just going to plug it right in. Okay. And I'm going to go to calibrate controller. Okay. Now when I move these sticks around, you should see the dots moving. Okay, and I see them. And so it says center all sticks. So I'm going to center these two. I'm going to hit OK. And then it says hold this left. So I'm holding that left. And this is going to be our yaw. I'll have a different video on how to fly in a second. Pull this up. That'll be our throttle. This one over. This will be our roll. And do this one up. You just kind of follow the directions. Okay? And here you can kind of test it and see what it does. Okay? And it looks like it's working just fine. Now, there is a big difference here, and there's one setting that you guys need to understand. Right below calibrate controller, it has throttle 0 at bottom, or if you click here, it says throttle at center. And here's why. When you're actually flying one of these drones, generally, if it's a racing type drone, this throttle stick doesn't auto center. So like you notice, if I move this PlayStation controller, it goes back to the middle, right? If I move this one down, it doesn't go back to the middle, it just stays there. And so when you fly, you have two options, because if you don't set this to center and you let this go, your quadcopter is always going to be at 50% throttle unless you're holding it down. I personally prefer to play with it where this is the center and this is all my throttle I have. So I'm just using that top half of it for throttle. So throttle is center at that. And dead zone is just like it's the area that, like, if I move it a little bit, it doesn't move the quadcopter. I have to move it a lot. So for some people, that's easier. I don't generally play with the dead zone because I do some gaming and I'm used to playing with controllers and the sensitivity. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go over a couple of the things. First, in the left-hand side, you're going to see self-leveling is on. Now this is going to cause it to be in a stability mode. where if I move the quadcopter, it's going to go back to the center. So like I'm rolling right, and it goes back to center. Okay? Then there's acro mode, which means if I go up and I move to the side, it stays there. Okay? And if I crash, you just hit spacebar to restart. Okay? So I'm going to turn it to self-leveling. That's going to be the easiest one to start on. Low rates and high rates means that's how much it will tilt your quadcopter. So if you're low rates, when you're all the way over, it only tilt it a little bit. High rates, it'll tilt it a lot faster. Camera, you can do either here, so if you want to learn how to fly just line of sight, you can do that. And then if you want to do FPV, you just click at a different time. Okay, for the actual competition, you can just go in and fly and practice like this. I'm going to turn this down real quick. But over here, you can click the number of laps you want to do. Now, our competition is going to be for 5 laps. All right, so you're going to try to go through this course for 5 laps, and it has timed race. And you just click timed race, and it's going to start you. Okay, so I'm going to fly, and it's the one that lights up. That's which one you need to go through. And so you'll fly through here, and you'll try to go around. Oh, I missed it, so I'm going to have to go back. I'm not used to playing on the PlayStation controller, but it's really not that bad. And the setup's the exact same for the Xbox. So there's my lap time. And there's 1 lap, and you'll see it says 36 seconds, okay? I would do this 5 more times, and that would be my time, okay? And you'll get better at this as you go, and I'm going to have a different video on how to fly. But that's basically how you get set up and get going. And so I hope that helps, and I hope you have fun flying.